Hi, today I'm going to be giving a little bit of an intro to coding. So I'm using Linux as my coding platform, but you could use any you want. This basic intro would work for anything. I don't know how to explain how to install Linux if you don't have Terminal, if you don't have an app called Terminal. Linux is like a thing in Terminal, which like it supports Python, Java, C, HTML, JavaScript, CSS. So let's get started. So the first most important thing in Python is the print function. To do the print function, you just type print and parentheses. In those, you can type any number. Let's stick with numbers for now. I can print 6, I can print 7, I can print 6 plus 7, which will give me 13. I can do 6 minus 7, 6 times 7, 6 divided by 7, and times is denoted by this, divided denoted by that. I can even do to the power 7. And one more thing called 2 slashes. It's just rounded down division. So it's 6 divided by 7 rounded down, which is 0. You can slow down this video if I'm talking too fast, by the way. So that's what you can do with numbers in the print function. One more important thing is variables. Let's define a variable x to be 5. What a variable is, you just put a value of 5 in something called x. I'm just calling it x. You can call it anything you want. It just can't have a space in it. Like it can't be x space y. It can't be x minus y or x dash y if that's what you want. It can't be that. Could be underscore, could be x9, could be x1, could be anything. Could be a series of characters. So now when I print x, it'll give me the value of 5. There's even something called strings in Python. Strings is basically like a series of letters, but to print those series of letters, you need to put it in quotes. So if I put hello world in quotes and I print it, it'd give me hello world. Notice when I go back a bit, over here, x, I'm not putting quotes around this x. The reason is because x is not, I don't want to print actual value of x. This would actually just give me x over here. I want to print what's assigned to x. And what is assigned to x? 5. So I can replace this with 5, and that's valid, so that's why it doesn't give me an error. I can even replace x itself with a string if I want, like hello world. Don't print hello world. One more thing I can do with the print function, let's define a variable x 5. So find a variable y 6. I can print x plus y in variables, not just in operators, and it'll give me 11. Just like this, I can add two strings together. Adding two strings together will just concatenate them and like put them side by side. Hello world. If you want a space in between them, I'd recommend using a comma. You could also just manually like put space here, but I recommend using a comma. Comma automatically puts space between things. Hello world. One more thing you can do with strings is you can multiply them. You can't divide them. You can't multiply two strings together, but you can multiply a string by an integer, like 5. That'll just print hello, 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 hello 5 times. I'm not actually multiplying x by 5. I'm multiplying what's assigned to x, which is hello by 5. So it prints hello 5 times. And it wouldn't change anything if I just replace x with hello. So that's how I use the print function. One more important thing in Python is the input function. With the input function, you just type input, and you type two parentheses, and then you can type anything you want in those two parentheses. Like over here, if I type like this random series of letters, it just like stops the code then. It doesn't do anything yet. And in this input function, I can type quotes, and I can type enter enter something random. And when I enter something random, it'll print this onto the shell, and then I can type anything I want after that. Enter something random, then it'll stop the code right there. And now, notice when I type something, it doesn't record what's typed, it just stops it right then. Like over here, I type FGHF, it doesn't do anything after that, it just stops it right there. If I want to record what you type, you can put that in a variable. Let's call that randomness equals this input. So now whatever I type will be equal to randomness. It won't be equal to enter something random, what I said over here. It's going to be equal to whatever I type, like FGHF. And if I print randomness, it'll print whatever I type over here. So for example, if I type FGHF again, then it'll print FGHF right back at me. If I type something like hello world, it'll print hello world back at me. Also notice that I'm not putting anything in quotes over here. I'm not putting hello world in quotes, but it can return it to me without actually giving an error. This is because the input function records things in strings. So it's already recorded in string even if it's a number. Doesn't matter if you record a number in string, even though it's recommended not to. Because as I said, if you add two numbers which are strings together, like 6 and 7, let's give an example. Let's say x equals to 6, y equals to 7. If I do print x plus y, it won't print 13. This time I'll print 67. This is because I'm just concatenating these two strings. These are not integers, these are strings. To make them integers, I have to delete these quotes. Now it'll give me 13. So that's the basic introduction to Python. In the next video, I'll be going over lists, sets, tuples, and all of that.